That meant letting go, giving everyone a fresh start, giving everyone a chance to live according to their beliefs, according to their truth. Matters about what my ego was. God was going to sit me down and heal my heart, which he's definitely done. And I'm just so grateful for that. We can be married to ego and committed, faithful to ego, and wonder why God will not show up for us. Is because you are holding to some capacity, somewhere, somebody captive, and that could even be you. Because I didn't realize at that point that forgiveness was for me. So whether or not he ever forgives me, the forgiveness was for me. Me letting go of our past mistakes, our past trauma, the decisions that we made, the consequences to those decisions. It was me letting go of that. I had to release that because it was heavy. And not only that, I'd been running from it. I'd been running from it for years and tagging my children along because I'd not dealt with it and I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to face that what I'd hoped to have, as in like not a broken family, but like my children growing up with both parents in the home, having stability, security in a loving home, a nurturing home, that I assumed or felt like I'd failed at that. I never wanted that. Ever. And yet that's what I was dealing with. And I didn't want to face it. I mean, I was living it, but I didn't want to face the emotions and the trauma. And so it didn't matter how I looked, because on the inside, scorned, I'm just saying. And I remember like coming back from LA and just feeling like everything was so much better for me before I left, and I came back with nothing, feeling like when I left I had something, and when I came back I have nothing. And God corrected me and he said, baby girl, baby girl, when you left, you looked like you had everything, but you had nothing. What you were holding on to were just possessions that were feeding your ego, and we call them distractions. Because you think as long as you're being established in the world, that you're being established on the rock. But internally, I was battling some demons. I was not ready to face a lot of my inner trauma, I wasn't ready to face it. And I say I wasn't ready to face it. I was on my path because I was already doing yoga. God has corrected me and given me more insight to the practice. However, I know that those who are connected to me, those who are aligned to me, are probably practicing yoga right now. Been there. I'm not here to condemn you. But I started with my yoga practice, and I was working on, my internal, I was working on that. You know what I'm saying? I was working on my inner body, my inner man. I was forgiving. And this was just one of the bigger parts of that forgiveness, right? But I was definitely on my journey, and God was calling me deeper. And these are those demons that, again, it's like, it's one thing to feel like you are on the recipient end of someone else's decisions, and it's another for you to be the one that somebody else is facing the consequences of your decisions. You feel that you're holding them captive just based off your decisions, the consequences to that. And that was what was hard for me. Like, I can't say that somebody else did this. I did it. I made that decision, and someone else, two small people, are being affected because of it. And I was running from that. Or at least I just wanted to sweep it under the rug as best as I could. And God wasn't having that anymore. So, yeah, story time over. But a lot of us are dealing with that. We are stuck in situations or just stuck in life overall because we will not remove the debt from the people that we are connected to. So for me, in that instance, it was my ex-husband and the child support order. But it's also emotional. So you don't realize that by you not forgiving somebody who may have mishandled you, that you're keeping them in bondage. And it's not just them, it's you too. This is the reason why we should be forgiving. It's debt relief on the deepest level. That was the main reason I feel God implemented Jubilee, where the 50th year, right, everyone's debt would be wiped away. Every 7 years, everyone's debt would be wiped away. But in the 50th year, they'd celebrate that, right? Or they just celebrate life. There's a reason why that rule, that concept is applied in this matrix as well, because it's spiritual before it's physical. So yeah, I'm the villain in a lot of people's life, and I'm all right with that, for God's will and God's purpose and for God's glory. And I know that he gets the glory, because though my children may not understand now, they will later. They will later. Just the same way God said that to me. You may not understand now, but you will later. So maybe this is your call to set some people free. I love you.